to the greatest fighting force the world has ever known. To you, I pledge to keep faith with you and to serve our nation with the same unflinching dedication that you demonstrate every day.
Get used to seeing that face. That is Ashton Carter, who could be the next Secretary of Defense. President Obama formally nominated him for the job just about an hour ago at the White House. Carter served as Deputy Secretary of Defense under both outgoing Secretary Chuck Hagel and former Secretary Leon Panetta. Carter would be the fourth Secretary of Defense to serve under this president. Chuck Hagel, for his part, however, decided not to attend today's nomination ceremony, but has said he will stay on board until his successor is confirmed. Joining me now is a man whose brain I love to pick, global affairs analyst Bobby Ghosh. I turn to you in times like this, Bobby. No pressure. Yeah. Let's talk about this. Now, if we know if Carter is confirmed by the incoming Republican-controlled Senate, clearly one of the largest issues he's going to be facing is ISIS. Give us some context. Was ISIS sort of the undoing of Chuck Hagel? We know from some accounts it seems as though he was pushed out, given how ISIS is so front of mind for the United States. What do you think?
Well, for Carter, he has an external problem, the biggest one, external problems, and the biggest one of those far and away is ISIS. He has internal problems, and the biggest one there is the White House. As we've heard over and over again in the past few years, the White House runs foreign policy, the White House runs defense policy in a way that we haven't seen in many years from previous White Houses. So he will have to sort of dance this very, very narrow line where he has to satisfy the White House at the same time, as he has just committed there, be true to the troops that, in a sense, he is commanding.
Because they are up against an enemy the likes of which we haven't necessarily faced. This is sort of a newer type of terrorist, if you will.
This is the worst kind of terrorist group that has ever existed, and we are fighting them with one hand, maybe two, tied behind our backs. We have no troops on the ground. Our allies in the coalition are quite likely to be fighting each other as much as they are fighting alongside each other against a common enemy. So I have a great deal of sympathy for Carter, because he's entering a hornet's nest. I mean, to be in charge of the Pentagon is never easy, but I can't think of since the Second World War, or maybe since Vietnam, a worse time to be entering this job.
If any guy is aware of what he's facing is a guy who was the Deputy Secretary. So, I mean, there is that. I want you to pivot a little bit for me and talk about something that I find curious, intriguing, disturbing. We know that there have been thousands of foreign fighters that have left their home countries to go and fight alongside ISIS. But we're also getting a sense that some of these young men and even women who have been recruited online are starting to be a little disgruntled. What are you hearing, and what do you make of this? Well,
there have been lots of stories recently about people writing home, writing to mom or friends, complaining about the absence of facilities, complaining that they're unable to charge their iPods. One famous instance a couple of days ago, a young Indian man returned from the fight in disgust because they were asking to clean toilets.
Oh, no.
These are young men, mostly young men, who claim that they're willing to...
So much for idealism, I suppose.
They say they're willing to die for their cause, but not clean toilets. That's a little too far to go.
So, yeah. But that brings about a practical matter, Bobby, is then how do you deal with those returning fighters? Because there has been great concern here, a lot in Europe and certainly in Britain, about returning quote-unquote jihadists coming back, and there's concern about if there will be plots launched internally inside those countries. This changes that. There's a little nuance to this, because these are disgruntled former potentially jihadists that are returning home. You can't just open the doors and say, welcome back, folks. How do you deal with this?
There's a balance here. On the one hand, you do want them back because they are a source of enormous amount of information.
Very good point.
If you can get your hands on one of these young men coming back home, unhappy with the fight, you can download a lot of information from them, even if they were in the fringes of the jihad, even if they were outliers, sort of troops. You could get a lot of information from them. But then you have to watch them like a hawk. You can't just let them go into the community willy-nilly and then ignore them. You have to watch them very carefully.
Do
So
they
this is a
face
great-
prosecution? I mean, do they in some instances?
In some cases, if they have actually participated in kinetic fighting, if they have contributed to the terrorist cause in one way or the other, yes, they've broken the law. Leaving home to go to Syria in itself, in some countries, may not be breaking the law, but if you've actually gone and fought, then yes, you have potentially broken the law, and that needs to be worked on. There's another element. There's one more thing that we are learning from these letters home, these plaintive letters home. It tells us in an interesting way that ISIS's progress has stopped. The reason these guys are sitting around complaining about their iPods and their toilets is because they have time on their hands. And the reason they have time on their hands is because ISIS is not making any progress anymore. ISIS's growth has stalled. In places in Iraq, they're being pushed back. In Syria, in Kobani, which we've covered for weeks now, they've been unable to make any progress. So they do have a lot of fighters who are standing around twiddling their thumbs. And there is something maybe to be taken from that.
Bobby Ghosh, interesting. They do provide a trove of information and potentially intelligence to authorities that are looking into how they can get more access to where this group is moving, what their next plans are. Really a delight to have you here. One-on-one. We got that John Berman out of the way. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You're always welcome here. Please come and visit again, okay?
Anytime.